Good morning, and happy Monday. I am Natasha Thompson, Director of District and School Leadership with PBL Works, and I have the honor of serving as your MC this week. And on behalf of PBL Works, it is my extreme pleasure to welcome you to PBL World 2021. We are so very delighted to have you with us this year. Thank you so very much for being here. Now, I want to add a special welcome to all of our first timers here. I remember my first PBL World, the excitement, anticipation, and joy of connecting with so many other educators who believed in the transformative power of PBL. To our PBL World friends who have attended before, welcome back. We are happy that you are joining us for our 11th year of PBL World. So let me tell our new friends and remind our old friends of who we are. We are PBL Works. And at PBL Works, our exclusive focus is project-based learning. Why? Because PBL advances educational equity and empowers youth furthest from opportunity. We believe PBL is transformative for all kids. Through PBL, students engage in learning that is deep, long-lasting, and relevant to the challenges of their lives and the world they will inherit. Research confirms this. At PBL Works, we are committed to racial equity. Racial equity for students will be achieved when race and ethnicity no longer predict the outcomes of young person's educational future. We commit to identify and dismantle racial inequities and provide equity-based supports so that our most vulnerable children can achieve their full potential. Also at PBL Works, our vision is that all students, no matter where they live and what their background, should have access to quality project-based learning to deepen their learning and achieve success in college, career, and life. We know that students who experience high-quality PBL will develop both content knowledge and success skills such as communication, collaboration, creativity, and critical thinking. And they will develop a stronger sense of self and start to see how they can contribute to their families and communities by applying knowledge and success skills in ways that make an authentic difference. At PBL Works, our services, tools, and research are designed to build the capacity of K-12 teachers to design and facilitate quality project-based learning, and also to build the capacity of school leaders to create a culture for teachers to implement great projects with all students. At PBL Works, we are current and former educators with experience in PBL and a deep respect for teachers. We strive to offer an unrivaled level of service to guide educators in your journey toward a sustained, high quality PBL practice. This is us. And this week, friends, we, PBL Works, offer you PBL World 2021, a 4-day adventure of engaging workshops, inspiring keynotes, deep connections with fellow educators, and a few fun surprises as well. We want you to use our time together to refuel your reserves, recharge your energy, and rethink how we can educate our students and prepare them for their future. Our theme for this year is racial equity at the center, the power of PBL to advance racial equity in education and inspire our youth. You will see this theme woven throughout the conference, from the messages delivered by our amazing keynote speakers, Miki Tomita and Dr. Patina Love, from the PBL stories from a student panel, as well as throughout your workshops, where you'll be challenged to consider educational equity in your classrooms, projects, and schools. Our vision for advancing racial equity through PBL is truly deeply reflected throughout this conference. And please know that we find it very fitting that our time together this week falls just after Juneteenth as we continue to work toward collective liberation in our schools, communities, nations, and world. So, friends, we hope that you also enjoy what's new this year. This year, we offered brand new pre-conference sessions, the Art of Persuasion Project Slice, SEL in PBL, and also Equity and Gold Standard PBL. Another new addition is Community Day. Community Day takes place tomorrow, and it is a day of connection, community, and choose your own PBL adventure. We hope that you will enjoy connecting with other educators and exploring new ideas as you deepen your connection with PBL community. Please make sure you've downloaded the conference app, which lists all of the Community Day sessions. Also new this year, we've created and implemented a new PBL champion process, which included receiving nominations from you, our schools and partner districts. We are so very excited to reveal this year's PBL champions with you this week and also share how you can nominate a PBL champion for 2022. We hope that you can tell how seriously we take the assignment of offering you deep adult learning that will empower you to move confidently along your PBL journey in service of students. Thank you also to all of our sponsors. This year, all of our sponsors are all aligned to Gold Standard PBL. How cool is that? You will get a chance to meet them on Tuesday and Thursday afternoons. Once again, please check your conference app for details. Now, before I pass the mic to my dear friend, Lisa Morales, PBL Works Senior Director of Design and Research, I want to once again thank you. Thank you so much for attending PBL World 2021 and welcome, welcome, welcome. We are so happy you are here. Now, here is Lisa.
Thank you, Natasha. It is a pleasure and true honor to introduce Dr. Miki K. Tomita. Born and raised on Maui, Miki graduated from H.W. Baldwin High School, earned a BSE in Biosystems Engineering at the University of Hawaii at Manoa, and a PhD in education from Stanford University. She's worked in education for 20 years as a teacher, administrator, curriculum developer, and researcher, working to create opportunities for positive change for our planet and people. Miki and I have known each other for many years. When we first met, I was a district leader on Kauai, and we invited her over to help us learn what it would mean to become future-ready schools. Throughout the week, she shared her secrets for creating culture and learner-centered ecosystems that honor students, teachers, and the community. She spoke of moonshots, websites set up for two-way communication, and other things we had yet to hear of, all the while painting a vision that every single person in the room wanted to be a part of. Today, Miki is best known as the founder and CEO of Education Incubator, a Hawaii-based nonprofit dedicated to creating opportunities for youth and educators to be agents of change for a more positive world. EI works with kids and community to design and implement unique, place-based, solution-oriented initiatives based on the core values of innovation with aloha. I follow Miki's work very closely, and I listen to her speak every chance I get. Why, you might ask? She serves as a beacon for innovation and place-based learning and has had an incredible impact on the educational landscape of our state. Words cannot capture the enormous respect I have for her as an educator, leader, innovator, and mother. I would be remiss not to mention her 12-year-old daughter, Mayumi. I am certain you will find Miki to be as delightful, provocative, and inspiring as I do. Take it away, Miki.
Thank you, Lisa and PBL Works, for the warm introduction. It has certainly been a long and exciting road towards educational transformation that we have been blessed to walk along so far. To those of you who have never had the pleasure of meeting before today, I look forward to our journey together, to learning and living into the potential of empowered education in this new season. We are together on this most amazing of days, the dawning of the summer solstice for me here in Hawaii and those of us in the Northern Hemisphere, the day of the peak of sunlight, of energy that has been building up for the past year, a day to begin to harness the light that will continue to illuminate our way for the next. As Lisa mentioned, the work we do at Education Incubator is focused on creating opportunities for youth, educators, and our communities to shape the world now. We believe that each person, place, and community is an incubator for their best selves. Consistent throughout our various programs and collaborations is that we focus on purpose, passion, and hope. Specifically, noble purpose, a purpose that is larger than yourself. Harmonious passion, a passion that feeds and fills you rather than consumes you. And transformative hope, a hope and aspiration for a better world, one that you can be a part of shaping. Whether this is through our ocean stewardship program that encourages place-based learning through digital platforms and elevating traditional Indigenous wisdom, or our investment-backed social impact-focused youth accelerator program that we run with a local venture firm, or our family-based at-home learning and living program integrating distance learning supports, mindfulness practices informed by Hawaiian cultural values, and peace education. All our programs are designed to help us point our purpose compass towards a better self, a better tomorrow, and a better world. And yes, all of these are part of my PBL journey. Project-based learning is a part of a suite of the most promising practices we know of today in education, the kind of experience that immerses the learner in real-world context to build real-world skills, allows the learner to think deeply about what might be and why it isn't yet, and how we might get there, wherever there is. Which brings me to the meat of today's conversation. And I do hope that this is the start of a conversation we might continue beyond today. Today is definitely more about you than it is about me and EI, because you have decided to invest your time, energy, and talent in this work. You are here to think about PBL and the conference theme that asks us to further focus on racial equity at the center of PBL, a big topic. So let's dig in and start with you. What is your why for being here? Why PBL? Why now? To help us in this introspection, we turn to a tool we often use in our own PBL teaching and learning. And the P's for our PBL, project-based, place-based, purpose-based, product-based learning, all of those experiences, we start with the 5 whys. Lifted from lean methodology, this tool is helpful in getting us to think about root causes. Why are you here? For example, why project-based learning? Well, because we've heard it's a more successful way of supporting student learning. Why do you think it's a more successful way of supporting learning? So with every answer, you turn that into the next question. Why do you think it's a more successful way of supporting student learning? And you can go on and on and on until you get to your 5th answer. So I want to take a minute, maybe 30 seconds, for you to begin to think about what might be my 5th why. And as you get to your 5th why, I'll read you a few of my 5th whys and why they change every day. So work and jobs have evolved faster than education, and economy is still what shapes the rest of society. Another of my 5th whys, because of the internalization and regurgitation of heteronormative, Western dominant, hierarchical, degenerative, capital-driven culture. In other words, inequity. And so we dig and we dig and we dig, and we find our 5th why, we find our 500th why, and we realize we dug ourselves into a why hole. Understanding that for every me, there is a different why. And as we think about our different whys, how is it that we navigate down through our multiple layers to get through the core? When we think about all of our whys, they may not align, they may not all agree, they may actually work against each other, but I still have to try and do the work to dig deep, to uncover layer after layer of my strengths, my motivations, my privileges, my biases. I have to try. And once I start this journey in earnest to navigate down to my core, how might I navigate back up to do the work and help the world be better for our kids and our future? What does it mean to find our way? Speaking of navigation, what does it mean to look with intentional eyes at the true nature of the world? of all of the people of the world, of all the complicated, amazing, tragic, hurtful, joyous things that we cause and are affected by, to truly see who we are and where we are, and how far it might be to who and where we want to be, and not be crushed by the weight of the immense divide. Maybe we turn to the wisdom and practice of Polynesian wayfinders, guided by the stars, winds, and waves, long before much of the rest of civilization could even sail on a sight of land. These voyagers looked at the incredible, impossible expanse of the Pacific Ocean, a universe of blue, and created the largest country on Earth, harnessing the power of the mind, body, and spirit to connect the tiny islands within that large blue canvas into one story and one being, like connecting stars in the night sky into constellations and maps to circumnavigate this beautiful planet. We have to birth something the world has never known, or perhaps in this case, to bring something back from the verge of extinction. We have to reach down into ourselves so deep, a depth we never knew possible. We have to believe in the impossible. We actually have to forget we ever knew the word. One of my mentors, Nainoa Thompson, pictured in this slide, captain and navigator of the legendary voyaging canoe Hokulea, which was the first deep sea traditional voyaging canoe to be born and sail in over 600 years of a practice being lost to the world. He teaches us that on our voyaging canoe, on a deep sea voyage, the navigator makes 5,000 observations a day, distilling vital information through all senses from all directions to make 2 life-changing decisions a day. At sunrise and sunset, we set the course for our lives while out in the expanse of the deep ocean. How many opportunities do we allow for our young navigators? Those on land, those in the classroom, those who will inherit the society that we've built. How many opportunities do we give them in our schools, learning communities to make choices for themselves, to learn to read the currents that run above and below the surface of the oceans of their existence? How many times have you intentionally paused to ask yourself those same vital questions? Are we going in the right direction? And is everyone on my crew in this vessel we call society, the vessel we call community, school, classroom, family, and self, are we all taken care of? How often have you thought about your intentions, your reason for being, what pains and injustices you might be suffering from or have had to overcome yourself, and how you might help recognize and help heal the trauma of the world through your own quest for justice and healing? We have that opportunity now, I think. In our existence, we are born from the realm of ocean, from the darkness of the womb, into the realm of sunlight, walking upon the surface of this sacred earth. And though our lives follow this arc of existence from our first breath to our last, every day is actually also that same opportunity to be reborn as we wake from the dark ocean of our sleep into the energy and illumination of a new day. And at the end of the day, to re-enter the womb and leave behind what does not need to be carried to the next day. Every day is the halfway point between past and future. A day to leave behind what does not serve you, does not serve your work, does not serve your students, does not serve your community. And to birth tomorrow what you need to move the needle towards a just society and a healthy and happy self. So given that thought, with our newly refined version of ourselves in our absolute todayness, what do we want to cause in the world? I think you're here because you want learning to be different. You want school to be different. Perhaps you want society to be different. And I offer that it starts with you. As Arundhati Roy shared, the pandemic is a portal. It's a gateway between one world and the next. We can choose to walk through it, dragging the carcasses of our prejudice and hatred, our avarice, our data banks and dead ideas, our dead rivers and smoky skies behind us. Or we can walk through lightly, carrying with us little of that luggage, ready to imagine another world and ready to fight for it. So much of what is innovative in education is about trying to reconnect the student to the learning process. But have we thought about what alienated them in the first place? The race, gendered, biased, patriarchal colonial structures that were imposed as a one-size-fits-all to our decidedly not one-size-fits-all children who are currently served through our education system. If we want to center on equity, then I think we need to dig deep to our core, to the center of our struggles, to the class, race, gendered education system that feeds and feeds off of our deeply biased economic system and continues to bring harm to our deeply suffering earth. The pandemic merely brought front and center the pain and suffering that many have been experiencing, allowing us all a view into the life of the less fortunate, even for a moment. So as we think about this blank slate, our sail plan into the future, how we get from here to there. Again, another design tool from the startup world, which is where I work now, design thinking and empathy mapping is a key part of our social innovation practice. What does here look like to you? Is your version of here grounded in the lived experiences of those you hope to serve? Is it grounded in an appreciation of their strengths, in a belief in their ability to shape their own destiny, free from the constraints we are forced to work under in our current state? What does that future state look like? How much of that journey from current to future state are you allowing your intended user, your children, your society to help you co-design? I ask you to think about what you value, how you transact and relate in the world, what you privilege and what you discard. To consider the multiple forms of capital that exist in the world as a whole, although we have, as of late, sacrificed, if not subjugated, most forms of capital in pursuit of financial and material wealth. What if we take a step back, take a wider view, and consider the multiple dimensions of wealth and impact that the world needs in order to truly serve all of our children well? What if, in our learning and living, we asked our young people to think about which of these multiple forms of impact and transformation they value, and help them to understand the way in which our values and the values of generations before them have shaped the resources and possibilities they see before them today? Why are you here? What do you want to cause in the world? Peace, justice, equity? When we return to that first question I posed this morning, why PBL? Did you find the intention of your work lying for you beneath your 5 whys? Are you a fixer, a solver, a healer? What do those things mean for you and for the youth you serve? One of my teachers, noted Hawaiian healer Pono Shim, relayed this message in one of our conversations. In the pursuit of peace, we may never find justice. And in the pursuit of justice, we may never find peace. To seek one might mean never reaching the other. Our intention shapes what we are able to accomplish. Similarly, this quote from Dr. Rachel Remen asks us to consider our biases in our work. Do we see people as weak or broken, needing our fixing? Or do we see people as whole, needing our service to achieve their absolute wholeness? The question we must ask ourselves on the daily: who am I to do this work? We run the risk in this era of global citizenship and social innovation. We run the risk of heropreneurship, believing ourselves the right people to solve problems far, far away from us. Often, this viewplane takes us even further from the injustices and indignities of our own lives, of our own communities, of the impact found in our daily existence. How do we help our children see that solving huge problems first starts with finding the connection to ourselves as problem solver and problem generator, of who we are as contributors to the challenges others may face near and far? Are we able to see that we are all made up of multiple strands in this beautiful braid of life, that there is only one you that is uniquely created to be you right now. Only you can connect the inner journey of your ancestors and all that came before you to the outward next steps of the journey for society. We are, in fact, creating the future right now as we breathe. Can we, if even for a few moments every day, take a pause to assess those two critical directions? Where did we come from? Where are we going? Or what lies behind us and what lies before us? Can we, in those moments, honor those that have given us the strength and resilience to be where we are today? Forgive those who have contributed to the pain of the world, either by intention or by ignorance, and find the light inside us to shine ahead into the darkness, into the potentiality of night, into the time of rebirth. How do we honor the efforts, the sacrifices, the humanity of those who have made our lives possible by fully embracing our own potential and the elements that shape our existence? Likewise, how do we work to dismantle those elements that have contributed to our suffering, the suffering of our local and global communities, that which offers privileges to some and injustices to others? Pause to ponder. How might we use our privilege, whatever we have, lots or little, to hold open the door to opportunity, the door to a better tomorrow for someone else? And how do we get to a future state of society in the world where we trust and believe that someone will be holding open a door for us that would have remained unlocked to us without them? How do we support our teachers, children, and society to assess and appreciate value based on multiple forms of capital that are available in the world, not privileging those traditionally held in high regard by a system of oppression that has served only the most elite of the world? How do we do ourselves the kindest of gestures and truly value our time as part of the most precious of resources in existence, and spend that time wisely in service of harnessing our potential to bring equity and justice to a world largely unbalanced at this time? I would like to take a few moments to let you think about your answer to this question. All the AMs that you are, all the different multiple layers, all the different lives that you have led, all the different strands that make up your existence. Colleagues, commiserators, collaborators, old and new. We're coming now to the end of this presentation. And I'm actually going to end it the way that I usually begin, by introducing myself and my intention, in hopes that this time you have been asked to spend with me has helped you in your journey towards achieving equity, justice, peace, and love in the ultimate project of your life. Yourself, your work, and the world of possibilities you unlock for the youth who are so blessed to work with you, but who perhaps even more importantly, you are so blessed to be gifted a moment, a season, a year in the life of. So I begin with ano ai. This is the traditional expression of Hawaii, long before aloha became the way we greet the world. According to my teacher's teacher, Pilahi Paki, ano ai, meaning not one greater than the other. That we greet each other with oneness, knowing we are connected. To know that as you walk through a puddle and see ripples form, so is your effect on all things around you as you walk in the world. To know that if you empty yourself of your own breath and release your bias, you may truly see and appreciate that which surrounds you and allow it to enter and inform you. And so, ano ai. My name is Miki Kiyomi Tomita. Although I rarely ever associate with the term doctor, I suppose that is one of my names too. I am the mother of Mayumi Kyla Anita Marie Douglas, from whom I received my most sacred name, which is Mom. I am connecting to you today from the valley called Palolo in the land district of Waikiki on the island of Oahu in the Pai'aina of Hawaii. I acknowledge this land as an indigenous space, yielded under duress to the government of the United States of America many decades ago, and further recognize that the values and spirit of this beautiful and generous place is shaped by her indigenous people and practices that have embraced, sheltered, educated, and nurtured me throughout my life. I am from Pukalani, Maui, Hawaii. I am the 5th generation of my family to call Maui my home after immigrating from Kumamoto, Kyushu, and Niigata, Honshu, Japan. I am a single mother, a daughter, a sister. I'm a descendant and a future ancestor. I'm an Asian female of Japanese ancestry and cultural practice, a descendant of settler colonists who endured insufferable conditions as plantation workers and perceived enemies of the US generations ago. I'm a follower of the teachings of the Buddha. I'm an engineer. I'm a scientist. I'm an educator. And at times, I've been a deep sea voyager trained under those Polynesian wayfinders. I'm a student of Indigenous Hawaiian healers and storytellers, adopted into their families and traditional schools of knowledge. I am also a Western academic and a social impact entrepreneur. I have sometimes been called a radical visionary, but I prefer to think of myself as a facilitator of what's next into what's now. I believe that the health of every component of an ecosystem, from the very tiny to the very large, is critical to a thriving planet. And that if any one person in the world is suffering, then we are all suffering. And that we can only thrive when all are thriving. I believe that when you know who you are and where you come from, you are enabled to create your own path forward. The shift in the common power dynamic from being a recipient of context to being a creator of context is the key to unlocking the door to the gifts and potential of each human being to live a better life. And importantly, emphasizing working together to create a better world. This is where the equity conversation leads us. What does a world that is truly without bias look like? A world where the riches and opportunities of the world fall upon us as sunshine, not having known thousands and thousands of years ago where it might meet us, not caring what shape or color or state of matter we currently occupy. That sunlight energy comes to us no matter what we have done in all our yesterdays. So how might we take the energy and momentum we are gifted with today on this solstice day? Know that we are destined to support our children to live into and shape a better world and give them that same gift of empowerment without judgment. What does equity by design look like in our classrooms, our schools, and society? What does equity as an outcome look like to us as a humanity? I have a feeling you know, you feel at least part of the answer to that. Now, as we say in the voyaging world, when we plant tiny saplings in hopes of hundreds of years from now, regrowing our decimated native habitats to a thriving state, let's go plant canoes. I am ever so grateful for our time together. I hope you have a beautiful day, family, and I look forward to the journey ahead with you. I'm also recognizing that I am early in time because I was hoping that I could take questions or talk story with people. I don't know how to make that happen. Wizards of the PBL world.
Thank you so much, Miki. Thank you. And we do have time for you to take some questions in our partner summit. We're looking forward to that. But thank you so very much, Miki, for helping us to remember to reconnect with our why, tap into our intention, and find our way along our PBL journey. Thank you for the work you do that's focused on purpose, passion, and hope. We know that our participants are even more encouraged to reflect and learn deeper ways to implement gold standard PBL in service of their better selves, a better tomorrow, and a better world. Thank you so much, Miki. That was incredible indeed. So once again, PBL friends, please remember that tomorrow is Community Day. It is a choose your own adventure. Check out the sessions that are listed in the conference app. However, prior to those sessions, we hope to see you here first thing in the morning for our fabulous panel of big picture learning students and student alumni who are eager to share about their PBL journeys. Our regular workshops will resume on Wednesday and Thursday. So now we will begin to transition to today's workshop. Please, please, please take a few minutes to step away from your laptop, take a few deep breaths, just stretch, grab something to drink, and get ready to log into your workshops by 9 a.m. Pacific time. We are wishing you an amazing day of learning and connection, PBL friends. Thank you, thank you, thank you.